Hello everybody and welcome back to episode 4 of Let's Play Flotsam with me, Scruffy Joe. Now, the very observant amongst you may notice slight changes since episode 3. Sad story, unfortunately. I encountered a couple of early alpha testing bugs and had to redo a few things from a previous save point. So we've ended up with everything being slightly skew-if as a result of that, and people have got slightly different names, but essentially we're still in the same place. We've still on where are we? We're still on this island here. We're still called Barnacle Town, or Barnacleton. We still have plenty of water at the moment, which we didn't have before, but we are short on food. The boats are all here. There's a couple of spaces for extra boats. We've got loads of plastic, but 0 wood. That is the state of the game. That's where we are. It's all great fun. I'm going to carry on now. We have got... what we got? We can rescue a seagull. We can go and get some seaweed, and we can collect some metal. I have done the science slightly different this time because I've unlocked these bad boys, but I've also unlocked this. I haven't unlocked the workshop, which I will do in a bit. So firstly, let's go and gather some scrap metal, assuming we have got enough space, which we have. So we'll do that first, and while he is off doing that, we will build ourselves an additional salvaging boat, which is cool. So 3 guys are going to go and do that now. We've got a nice little setup going on here with all of our stuff lying around. It's working pretty well. We are dangerously short on wood, but that's actually not that bad because I got rid of the thing which burns wood. So we are going to need a whole load more wood. That's certain. Just don't know whether we need it quite yet. But having said that, we have got spare boats. So we may as well go and grab it all. Because it won't take very long. Yeah. So they will gather the boats. The water machines are gathering water, which is keeping us kind of just about level. We have got some stuff that we need to explore. We need to do some science, but we can't do that until we've done the exploration. He's going to bring us our metal, and metal is important because most of the advanced buildings, including this one, require metal. So this would be good. It would be a nice thing to have. A fish kabob is better because drying out fish like this, although it doesn't take any resources to do, it only gives you a meal which is worth half of a day's worth of rations, which is a bit of a problem. So although we've got 12 dry fish, we've still only got 6 meals. We'd rather have fish kebabs because fish kebabs are just generally all round better. So we'll wait for him to go and grab that metal off that island. Did I say island? It's probably not an island. It's probably... Can I view this? Yes, I can press that button. Yeah, it's an aqueduct. You can see the road goes down there. I love the whole sort of floating stuff aspect of this game. In the original version... whoops. In the original version of the game, when it first ever came out, back in January and February time, cars floated. They just used to sort of bob along, and you go, "Oh look, cars!" And it was much, it was much easier. Nowadays, much harder. Now, what's going on? There should be bustling activity going on. Can't really see a lot. Where am I? Oh yeah, okay, so he's gathering cars. Whoops. Chucking them on his boat and bringing them back. We can now build a fish kebab. So I'm going to build another couple of these Everything's slightly wonky, which is fine. I don't have a problem with wonky. I like wonky. Wonky's good. It's just interesting, isn't it? Not really sure how that happened. Oh, a little bit of... this is the path I'm going to take in 3D, which is cool. You can check on your boys if you click on this little button down here, and that'll tell you how many boys you've got and what you're collecting. So at the moment we've got one person collecting wood and not very much of it, so that's kind of not great. We could do with somebody to be collecting fish. So where's my nearest fish? Possibly that one. Go collect those fish. And also we're going to need a lot more plastic, so let's send a boat over here and grab all that stuff. Cool. That'll get the resources in, and then we will... What's the next thing we want? It's a fish kebab, isn't it? So yeah, just need to collect those bits of plastic, and then we can build those, and that'd be cool. Could also do with a little bit more storage, but all of these things take plastic. I think what's happened is I may have collected too much wood. And also, I'll tell you what, while we're only doing one fish, let's get that wood drying. Because wet wood is pointless. Here comes some plastic now. That was interesting. He just dumped a boatload of plastic, run down here, got in another boat and sailed immediately out to go and get the more plastic. It's like, no, I'm going to collect all the stuff. I am not going to put any of the stuff away. No stuff putting away from me. I'm alright with that. Right, we've got a tick here, so that's all salvaged. That's good. Seaweed, that's going to take 25 space in a container and not actually be any use to me for the time being, because I don't have anything to use it with. Right, fish kebab. Let's go there. Whoops. I twiddled when I didn't mean to twiddle. Bling. Hello, seagull. What's the point of you? I've got no idea what the point of the seagull is. Do they have use? Are they going to just steal fish? Are they going to bring fish back? Curious. I've never bothered with them before, but I thought, hey, I'm live, I might as well get one. We do now have this lovely little graphic, which is just behind my shoulders. I can actually whoop, do that. Look, see? Seagull. Oh. Let's put myself back down there. Hold on. That's better. He can. It's like he's almost. It's like a. There you go. It's my pirate's parrot. Enough of this silliness. Right, so that has been built, and that can now make fish into cooked fish at a rate of one fish. One normal undried fish makes one cooked fish for the cost of wood. So we can go wood. 7 of those to allow us to go fish. I'm wondering, is it a one wood? Is it a one wood for one fish situation? And also, the other thing I'm wondering now is probably need to switch that onto wood. And let's see how long it takes to make a fish as well. So the fish are in, firewood's in. Just waiting for somebody to come and turn it all on. Oh, and I do need to keep a look on this because you don't want to get full of stuff. Because full is bad. Right, you got your firewood. Come on, make your fish. There we go. Check out that. Awesome. Now, the question on my mind is, do we need a second one? Or is one going to be enough? And it is one fuel per fish. But that was great, because that just took a whole load of fish and made them edible fish. Right, we are now full of stuff again, so let's just have a think. What can we build that we should build? We don't need any more beds. We could do... We don't have the technology for that. We don't need any of those. We don't need another one of those yet. Have we got a spare slot for fishing boats? We'll wait and see. Feels like we're going to need... Why aren't you fishing? Hang on. No one's doing anything. Right. Cool. We do need to go and gather that stuff, but I don't particularly want to. Okay, let's make some more room for storage. By going like that and like that. That will give me enough room to then collect all this. So I'll do that. While we're waiting for that to happen, are there any more fish here? Yes, there are. Great. So we'll go and grab those fish. All of the rest of these fish are outside of the zone. You can't get at them. It looks like the seagull is bringing fish back in its beak. I don't know whether it's then giving them to me or not, or whether it's just eating them. Let's have a look. Here it comes. Yeah. Cool. Turns out seagulls are cool. So we are nearly out of food, but we have got a bunch of food. Should be coming back any second. Although that's seaweed. That's not actually food. I think probably what we need then is to go. Give me more firewood. Give me more fish. Because here come the fish. And I think an additional fishing boat is going to be a good call. It just feels like 2 fishing boats and 3 other collection boats sounds like a good sort of ratio of stuff. Because we are now out of food, which is a worry. Because I think seaweed is kind of pointless until you can get one of those. And we need 15 research points for that. Oh, and nets. Crikey. Also, apparently the seagull needs a place to sleep. Which I didn't realise. So let's just, while we're waiting, let's just quickly throw a little bed in here for Mr. Seagull. And then we need to go somewhere else because there's not enough fish here. We need to arrive in that other place and immediately gather a load of fish. Otherwise people are going to get very hungry. In fact, we can check on them. People are pretty much dying. That's alright, they're getting rested. There we go, we got some food again. Come on, fish. Okay, that's all finished as well. Great. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's the other boat? Here he comes. Did we gather all of these fish? Not quite. How many are left? 13. Yeah, I want to grab all of those fish because that's 13 more meals. And I want to then go on to our next zone, which we need to decide where to go actually, because it's kind of an interesting thought. Where do we go next? Fish, 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 fish. I've never claimed that sanity was a problem for me. Come on, get all the fish. 2, 1. Fish! Yay! So we will wait for these boats to come back and moor in the harbour zone. And then once they are safely back and moored, we will jump to the next location. Now, the reason things changed, the early kind of alpha-y bug that we had was I went from one location to the next location, and when I arrived, 2 of my boats didn't. And the people who were on those boats also did not arrive. So that was a problem. Fish, 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 fish. Cool. Right, they are going to make dinner. We are going to move on. Right, so we've got options. We have enough oil to travel to either there or there. Let's click on these places. That's got an abandoned town. That's got oil and an abandoned town. That's got water. And that's got metal. So I sort of think we could go along here and just get this water, and then we could go along and get the metal from the next one, because that seemed like a good plan at the time. I'm not really sure whether it was, but it did seem like a good plan at the time. Yeah, we got loads of plastic. We got loads of fish nearby. Any other fish? Couple of blobs of fish. Okay, that's perhaps not as ideal as I'd hoped. Why does that not want me to do that? How bizarre. So what's here? We have more seaweed, more metal, and some additional water. But we don't really need any water at the minute. We are going to need the metal. But have we got space? We have currently got space. So let's go salvage that. Why are you not building me food? In fact, we've got 28 fish waiting to be cooked. So is wood the problem? Got 11 of that. Let's just do that. Let's make everyone dinner. This will be fine. Bit confused why it wouldn't let me fish over here. Bug. Doesn't matter. It's not going to be a big deal. Right, let's grab this plastic. Do we need it? We've got 16 plastic. Yeah, we do. Because if we want to build any more gangplanks and whatnot. Trying to work out if also, I'm keeping an eye on this number here. I'm sure it's been around about 15 or 16 for a long time, which is good. That is a good thing. We've run out of wet wood. I'm not even sure we've done any building. We are going to collect all of these things, and I am going to, in the meantime, do a bit of building. How bizarre. Just because it will keep stuff moving, keep stuff going. And now we need to find some more research points. Tell you what, we could actually salvage this water without overfilling this thing, because we've got room for 60 blobs of water. That's cool, that's finished. And then more seaweed. We are once again out of plastic. Which is kind of rubbish on my part. We do suddenly have lots of food again though, so that's good. All of the things I can build involve plastic. We don't have any plastic. That's alright. I can live with it. People are going to collect some. It's just they're taking their time because they're busy. And we do now have an absolute ton of metal, which is great. So when we do develop the science, when we find some research points, we are going to be able to construct some bits and bobs fairly quickly. And that's what we like about the game. You can kind of find a nice balance point, but then you'll gradually be running out of a resource. You have to keep moving, otherwise you will completely sort of stop. It's fine to not have any plastic, but you do need wood, sort of a drip feeding of wood. Otherwise you can't cook your food, and that means ultimately you spend more resources to eat less. You follow me? You can't eat the wood obviously, but you use the wood to cook. So at the moment I'm kind of keeping an eye on that number, which is gone. And then I'm also keeping an eye on this number, which is quite low, and I'm trying to not store too much rubbish because you don't want it. So having 51 metal in the thing is actually not good. It's a bit of a pain in the backside, but I can't do anything with it because I don't have plastic. So it's kind of that's the situation we find ourselves. We've sort of caused ourselves to run into a stuckness. We are in a little bit of a predicament. And I love predicaments. I love finding these problems and then solving these problems. That's literally why I love this type of game more than almost any other type of game. What's the fun in running around a corner, getting shot in the face, coming back to life, running around a different corner, getting shot in the face? For me, not a great deal of fun. I can understand why the people enjoy it, I suppose, sort of. But this kind of thing, where it's like permanent juggling of, oh god, what do we do? Much more my style. We got rid of that load of fish. Now, I think the computer somehow thinks that fish doesn't exist, whereas that one does. So we'll just get that one. That's alright. The game is big enough so that when you find the little problems, you can still sort of work around them. Now, my current dilemma Do I bother going and grabbing this? Because it would be good to have it for when I get the technology to use it. In fact, I've sort of answered my own question. Just going to stop them doing that for a minute because we've got 45. 45 wood is enough wood. What I want is for somebody to, or maybe more than one person, to go and get this plastic. But I do know I've got a bit of a jam, because I don't think anybody... What's going on there? I think he's fishing in the wrong place in a really strange way. It's alright, it was bugged out, but it's fixed itself. That's a relief. That is definitely a little bit unusual. But he's catching fish, so we're gonna just... Don't argue. Don't argue. Do seem to have a bit of a problem grabbing hold of this plastic though, and I don't know why that's not working. So we've got bundles of seaweed. Not sure what that is. Fish, plastic. All nicely tied together. We now don't have any firewood, so we will start to eat some of that fish, and that number will now start going down a bit. What are we storing that we don't need to store? We're dropping things now. That's bad news. Tell you what. That's partially solved the problem. We have dropped a few things, which is annoying. I kind of want to draw a line along here and have another walkway. Like that. Yeah. I would like a walkway like that. That's on my wish list. Okay, so what I'm now going to do, because this episode is starting to get on a little bit in its life, so I'm going to draw it to a stop because we're picking up all of this stuff, which we didn't, which was what we wanted. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to, because we've dropped a few bits and bobs, because we didn't have any storage space, I'm just going to ask people to jump in the sea, grab them and pick them back up, and now put them into this extra areas of space which we've now got. Then we will press the save button and we will sail off somewhere else. Yeah, I think... Hang on. Get on with it. Oh, someone's gone mad. Come on, pick it all up, people. What are you doing? Why are you all running around not doing anything? How peculiar. Maybe if we say... Go and pick it up from a boat? Or many boats? It's all gone a little bit weird. Let's draw that one to a close right here. I'm going to take this offline and fix it, and then we will carry on after that. Thank you very much, and I hope you are enjoying this series, and I sincerely hope that you will go and find on Steam this game, Flotsam by Pajama Llama, and wishlist it, and then buy it when it comes out, and then leave them a lovely review. Maybe follow them on Twitter and tell them how great they are there. I'm sure they would appreciate that. They're lovely guys. Yeah. I'm really loving it. I hope you are too. I hope that's coming across in the way that I am sitting here smiling like an idiot. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again next episode. Take care now. Bye bye.